keeping you stuck? Sharmishta is like, we're ready. Give me a ready in the chat. If you're like, you know what, I am ready because it's going to be like some onion layers. You know how we have an onion? We start to peel the layer, and at the end, we want to get to what we chat. If you're like, you know what, I am ready because we want to get to what we call a root cause, right? Now, how many of you know the word limiting belief? Give me a me in the chat if you know what limiting belief is, just so I know how much deep do I want to go in this session. Do you guys know what a limiting belief is? Give me a yes in the chat. If you're like, yes, I know what a limiting belief is, Ankita, 110%. Make sure you guys are on mute. How many of you know what a limiting belief is? Fantastic. Lovely. Fantastic. And how many of you know these two things? A lot of people know about limiting belief these days because we all watch reels, we watch podcasts. So we know what a limiting belief is. It's something that limits us. The question is, we know that limiting belief is important. We understand this by now, right? That's why we are here. But how many of us know how to identify one correctly? So, what is the actual thing that is keeping me stuck? How to identify one. And the second thing is how to release it. These are the two most important components. People don't talk about that. People talk about, yeah, limiting belief. Great. Good. You need to release limiting beliefs. Fantastic. Everyone knows that now. But how do we identify what limiting belief are we supposed to work on? And that's what we don't know. And that's why this webinar, Identify and Release Your Limiting Beliefs. Today, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be talking about limiting beliefs. And this is going to be everything that you need, every single thing that you need to be able to either identify or release a limiting belief. So, this is all information that you would need about beliefs. It's all in here. So, make sure you've got your cameras up. Make sure you've got a pen and paper. That's very important. Make sure you've got a pen and paper. Everybody's got a pen and paper. Give me a yes in the chat because you will be taking notes. There is no point doing this workshop without a pen and paper because I will be literally giving you a framework to identify your limiting beliefs and then a framework to release them. And at the end of this workshop, I will be helping one of you follow the process and I will show you a demo on how to do it, right? How to do it. What is really important to understand is that when we are doing a webinar like this, we take as much information as possible, especially when you're in my room. You want to take a lot of information in. That's what you want to do. You want to take every word down. So make sure if you're listening either on the YouTube live or you're watching the recording or you are in this workshop, you have a pen and paper, you're fully present so that we go through this framework together. I don't like self help becoming shelf help. I don't like that. We can understand how to do things and then not do it. It doesn't matter. We want to use all techniques and frameworks that we have learned today. Do we all promise that we will do that? We will use it today as we sit here. Give me a P in the chat and say, yes, Ankita, we will follow the framework with you. So at the end, we know exactly what is blocking us and why are we not able to go ahead. So give me a P in the chat if you're there. You're like, you know what? Yes, Ankita, I'm gonna do that. Fantastic work. Fantastic work. All right. So let's start this party of identify and release limiting belief. A lot of you are new here, so I'm just going to briefly introduce myself. I am Ankita Mahajan, and I'm a trainer of NLP, timeline therapy, hypnosis, and coaching. And all of our certifications are accredited by the ABNLP, TLTA, and ABH, which is the American Board of Hypnotherapy. I run my own institute here in Melbourne, Australia. The institute's name is International Institute of NLP and Hypnosis. And we work with the people so that they reach their highest potential. That's what we want to do with people, right? There's not a lot that stops people. People think that, something is blocking me. We talk about what is that is blocking you and take you ahead in your journey. Take you ahead in your journey. Now, my intention for this workshop is very, very simple. Every single time you will come to a workshop that I have created, you will see me set up an intention. My intention for this workshop is to give you a 5 step simple method for you to identify and release your limiting beliefs. So, no matter where you are feeling stuck in your life, doesn't matter, but you know exactly what to do. Exactly what to do, right? For us, our reality, the way we live it, it's made up of our feelings and our thoughts. And our feelings and thoughts are charged by our beliefs. That's what our reality is made up of. Two things, our feelings and what we think. So, our feelings and our thoughts. And it is supercharged by our belief systems. And we are consistently taking actions from these beliefs. Not once, not twice, but every single moment. The issue is we don't know what these beliefs are that we are taking action from. We only focus on the action that we do not like. But what we don't know is what is the belief that is going on in the background for us to have that behavior. We have multiple thoughts in a day. We have about 60,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thoughts. And 75% of those thoughts are negative thoughts. 95% of them are repetitive. We don't like our actions. We feel that we are stuck, right? And that's the issue that we have. But what we don't know is what is the belief that is running in the background that is keeping me stuck. So, this is what this is about. We want to understand that where is our thought getting intention and intensity from? Write these two words. Where is that thought getting intention and intensity from? Because that is exactly where our belief is sitting. That is exactly where our belief is sitting. Our beliefs are creating our behaviors and sometimes behaviors that we do not like. So let's start with something that is keeping you stuck right now. A behavior, a pattern that you have that you are continuously repeating and you are not sure why do you keep repeating it. And I want you to set an intention in this workshop that you will be taking care of that particular problem. So everybody just take a moment and write down on a piece of paper what's your intention for being here. Like, I've got an intention for this workshop. I want to teach you a framework so simple that it's easy and effortless for you to identify a limiting belief. But what is your intention to be here? Is there one particular thing that you want to work on? If that's a yes, put that in the chat for me. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds or write it down in your journal. Write it down in your journal. What is that one thing that you think you want to work on in this workshop? Pop that in the chat or write it down in a journal. Fantastic. Giving you a couple of seconds. If you are here, put your camera up. If you're new to the room, put your camera up. It's always good to connect with people in people's faces. It's always good to do that. So my intention is to know my limiting beliefs, but we want to start with, is there anything that I do not like, and I want to resolve it or get to the root cause of it. So one of you have written impulsive reaction and the vicious loop of overthinking and why it happens. Fantastic. That's what we're looking at. What is that thing that you keep repeating and you want to hold it and you want to study it today? You're like, okay, I'm going to study it through the 5 step process and identify what is at the core of it. What is at the core of it? So pop that down in the chat for me. What is that one thing you keep repeating that you want to get to the end of? Because if we are peeling onion layers, we should have our onion, right? What is the onion that we are peeling today? That's what is important. So, what's that one thing that you want to work on today? What's the intention? Put that down. Put that down for me. Because imagine telling yourself every single day in your head what you can't do. It's very difficult. So, I know the intention is to help you identify a limiting belief, and I'm going to make it very easy for you. And once you find it, you will feel really empowered because you will have the step by step process easy to follow, right? But what we really need to understand is why learn about our beliefs. Why should we actually focus on this? And why is this workshop so important? Why should you be sitting here spending the next 60 minutes looking at beliefs? Now, what is really important is that we understand that we sitting here all have what we call dreams. Now, our dreams could be on the lines of, I want a loved relationship. So, someone that I love, I want that relationship to be good. I want a house. I want money, right? I want better health. I want to lose weight. I want to have a car. I want to have some inner peace. It could be anything that you are dreaming of, correct? Anything that you are dreaming of, something that you want to achieve in your life, right? And currently, where you are sitting in your current reality, you do not have it. You want to go towards it. There is a part of you that wants to achieve it. And that's your desired reality. That's something that you want in future. Would that be right to say so? Give me a yes in the chat. That you're sitting here, there is something that you want, and you've written that on a piece of paper. You want to do something, but you currently don't have it. And one of the things that I hear people say the most is, Ankita, I am working towards it. I want to do it. I want to go from here to here, but there is something that keeps stopping me. Have you said that before? Give me a yes in the chat. If you like, you know what? I have said that before. There is something, Ankita, that stops me. Like I keep going, I keep going, I keep going, but then there is something that stops me. That's how it looks like. There is something that keeps pulling you back, and that something is not in the now. That something is sitting in the past somewhere in your childhood when you were younger. And that something that keeps pulling you back is a belief. So, for you to be able to achieve your goals today, you need to identify what really is holding you back. You guys tell me when you say something is holding me back, you don't have a name for it. Is that correct? You don't have a name for it. There's something holding me back. But if you don't know the name of it, you're not aware of exactly what it is, how will you release it? You can't release it. If you don't know exactly what it is, you cannot release it. Is that true or not? That is true. But we keep saying something is stopping me. We don't know what it is, so we can't fight it. We can't release it. So that is why it is really important to follow all these steps that I'm about to give you in your day-to-day life. Day-to-day life. That's why this is really, really an important workshop. Now, what really are beliefs? And I want you to write this definition down. That's why I've put it on the screen. It's important that you understand what really beliefs are. What is that something that is holding you at the back? So, beliefs are convictions that we hold to be true without an actual proof or evidence. Write this definition down and I'll explain it to you. Beliefs are convictions that we generally hold to be true without actual proof or evidence. It is just an acceptance that this is true and this is how it works. As simple as that. As simple as that. They are basically my rule book, and it's how I interpret the world. It's my rule book. It's like the filter that I wear, and based on that filter, I review everything in this world. It's not something that we are born with. That's not what something we are born with. We literally create it step by step. It is something that we have been creating over a period of time. And it's based on only three things. And I want you to write that three things down. It's based on only three things. It's based on emotions, it is based on meaning, and it is based on repetition. That's it. And I'll show you that whole pathway just in a moment. But write down these three things. It's based on your emotions, it's based on the meaning that you give to that emotion, and then it is based on repetition of that continuously. Continuously. So how are we creating that belief and what are we saying with that belief? You know how we say often, I believe in hard work and I believe that hard work is important to create success. It is true for some people that hard work is important, but is that true for 100% of the people? Yes or no? A lot of people would do hard work and still not get successful. And a lot of people will do hard work and get successful. So it's not true for 100% of the people, but a lot of people would believe that hard work is important, isn't it? A lot of people believe that hard work is important. Question is, how do you know? Write this down. How do you know that it is true? Do you know that this is true? And if your answer is yes, Ankita, it is true, 110%, that hard work is important, then it is a belief for you because the second question is it true for everybody else? Is it true for everybody else? If it's not true for everybody else, that means it's a belief. It's not a fact. So a belief is not a fact. What is a fact? That the sun rises in the east every single day. Is that true for everybody? Is that true for everybody that the sun rises from the east every single day? That is true for 100% of the people. So that's a fact. But is hard work important to create success for everybody? The answer to that is no, it is not. Right? That is why it is a belief. It is something that I believe in and it is based on my experiences. It may or may not be true. So please write this down. It may or may not be true for 100% of the people, but it's true for me. It's how we are interpreting our reality. It's not the reality itself, it's not a fact, it's how I interpret it. It's how I interpret it. Like someone's belief could be hard work creates success. Someone's belief could be no matter how hard I try, I never get ahead. I never succeed. No matter how much I try, I never succeed. No matter how much I try, I never. It's the same event, but the meaning that two people have given to the same event is completely different. So we create our reality based on a stringent pathway. And that is why two people can have same reality but two very different experiences. Very, very different experiences. And I want you to write this down. That's very important that for the same event, two different people can have two different beliefs. For the same event, two different people can have two different beliefs. Is that true or not? Like you're there, I am there. We look at the same thing, we will have two completely different responses. Why does that happen? Because my belief system and your belief system is two different systems. That is why. And that is why it is important to identify exactly the system that is running behind my behavior. So, this is very, very important for you to write down. Very, very important for you to write down. Belief is one of your filters through which you see reality. And it's not always a fact because the idea of a belief runs on this creation pathway. And I want you to write this down. Somebody has an experience, they feel an emotion inside their body, they create a meaning out of that, they repeat it, and once it gets repeated multiple times, a belief gets created. And why does it say repetition? Why does it say repetition? I'm going to give you guys an example. Quickly write this down. I'm going to give you 2 seconds. A person experiences something, they feel some emotion inside their body, they give that emotion a meaning, and if it happens too many times, it repeats, it becomes a belief. It's really, really important. Only feeling it one time, it doesn't make a belief. There has to be repetition of something. I'm going to give you an example and I want you to listen to this example. You've written enough, so just listen to an example, right? So, say for example, someone was growing up in their childhood, someone said to them, "Oh my gosh, why can't you even write one properly? It's just a single straight line." And they started to laugh about it, right? The child also took it in fun and banter. You know how our parents say that you can't even write properly? Oh my gosh, what's wrong? Small child. They could not write one, they made fun of it. Parents went back, child went to sleep, everything hanky dory. Very, very good. Then the same child went to school. The same child went to school, right? There also he could not write the one properly. Now the teacher said, "Oh my gosh, you can't write the one properly. This time in front of another 30 kids." Now, at this time, the child felt the emotion with intensity because there were 30 more people and eyes looking at him when he was being told that he cannot write one properly. In that moment, the body starts to feel embarrassed, shameful, and the meaning that they give, the child gives in their mind is, "Oh shit, I am not good with maths. I don't know how to do it." And that's where the belief accumulates. The more the intensity and repetition, the stronger the belief. And I want you to write this down. The more the intensity and repetition, the stronger the belief. The stronger the belief. So, not just one time someone said something to you, you took it, great. But when something happened again and again, your body started to believe it. So, the experiences that you have gone through in school, in your household, in your family, in the geopolitical relationship, the news that you hear, every single thing that you have experienced, which has created emotion inside of you, many things have created emotions inside of you, and you've sat and you've given them meaning, and it has happened multiple times. You've created a belief out of it. It's one and the singular most important systems of your body. That's why you should know how to identify that belief that is sitting right underneath and creating all your behaviors. That's important, isn't it? It's very important. Now, this kid who has believed I am not good with maths will now grow up and wants to run a business. But if at the back the idea is, "Oh my gosh, I'm not good with maths," do you think that person's going to be successful with business no matter how much they try? They will feel stuck. They will procrastinate. They will not want to put themselves out there because inside they believe they're not good with numbers. And what is money? What's my another belief? My other belief is money is all about numbers, isn't it? So if I am not good with numbers, I'm not going to be good with money. As simple as that. So will I be going towards earning money? Yeah or nay? Nah. I wouldn't do that. No matter how much hard I try, I'm going to fall back. We've said this to ourselves multiple times. I go two steps ahead and then I come multiple steps back. We keep saying that to ourselves. Somebody wants to lose weight, right? And that's what they are struggling with right now. It's one of their patterns. They keep coming back to it. But let's go back and understand how that belief is created. If you were growing up, and we have all heard this, right? If you were growing up and we have been told multiple times that you cannot leave any food on the table, whatever food that you have in your plate, you must finish it. Have you guys heard that? Whatever food you have on your plate, you must finish it. No throwing any food. Don't waste any food. We've heard this. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? A very good thing. But it plays out when you're trying to lose weight. You feed yourself no matter how much you try. Because innate belief that is sitting in the back is we can't waste food. That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to waste food. And we've all done that. We've heard these things, but now they create a blocker for us. So we want to identify exactly what are those things that are creating a blocker for me. What exactly are those things that are creating a blocker for me? So this is what beliefs are, but what are really limiting beliefs? I want to tell you guys that there are two kinds of beliefs, okay? Not all beliefs are bad beliefs. So write this down. There are two kinds of beliefs. One is called empowering belief and the other one is called a limiting belief. Empowering belief and limiting belief. Now, empowering belief is something that helps me, something that helps me. If I want to go out and speak in the public and I feel that I am confident, it is helping me, isn't it? So, why will I work on that? It's already empowering me. It's an empowering belief. I think if I go there, I will be fine no matter how crazy I feel, but when I get on the stage, I'll be good. That's an empowering belief. I can do it. But imagine I get a call to speak in front of people and I think I can't do it. I don't think I can do it. I think I'm not a people person. I am a very shy person. I don't think I like to talk too much, but I have an opportunity in my hand. That's limiting me to live up to my full potential. And that's why it's called a limiting belief. Something that stops me to achieve my goals. If it's not your goal to talk on the stage, you really could not be bothered. But if it is your goal to talk on the stage and this is stopping you, there's something that is stopping you, then that's really just a limiting belief, right? So, a limiting belief, I want you to write this down. A limiting belief is a belief that a limiting belief is a belief that creates a boundary around what we think is possible for us. So, if what you think is possible for you is this much, it just creates a boundary so you can't reach there. So, a limiting belief is a belief that creates a boundary around what we think is possible for us. So, it stops us to achieve and create success. It's an idea or an assumption that we accept to be true. But instead of empowering us, it keeps holding us back. That's why we say these statements. I take two steps ahead and I take 10 steps back, right? A belief that is empowering, a belief like I'm capable of learning new things, I can overcome any challenge, right? Is a good belief. So I want to keep that belief. But a belief that I'm too old to start something new. Nothing works for me, Ankita. This is a very, very big belief that comes up. Nothing works for me, Ankita. I've tried everything And when I ask them what have they tried, they'll give me four things. I've tried four, these are the four things I've tried. But people say, I've tried everything, Ankita. Have you really tried everything? No, it's a belief that is sitting in the background. Nothing works for me. If nothing works for you, then I will also not work for you. Let's not work together. Because if you are on that way of believing that you are going to be a failure, you will be one. As simple as that. If nothing works for you, nothing will work for you. That is a limiting belief. I don't think, Ankita, I can make money. Yeah, sure. Go ahead with that belief and see how it rolls out. That's a limiting belief. That's a limiting belief because it's not true for 100% of the people. Listen to me. A lot of people would come to me and ask, Ankita, can we make money in coaching business? That's a very common question, by the way, I get. Very, very common question. Can I make money in a coaching business? Because it feels like it's so saturated. There's so many coaches. My question always is, okay, let's take that belief to be true that you can't make money in coaching business. But is it true for 100% of the people? Is there anyone who has made money in the coaching business? The answer to that is yes. There are so many people who've created money in the coaching industry. Millions and billions of dollars. Is that true or not? That's true. So if it is true for some people, what do they believe in that they are creating that money? It's not a fact, it's a belief. And if there is something that is limiting you to be able to do that, you need to identify that. If that's what your goal is, if that's what your dream is. People like me, Ankita, cannot be successful. I come from a very middle class family. Happens all the time. I hear this all the time. Do you know even a person from middle class family who's made a lot of money? The answer to that is yes. So is it true that people like me cannot be successful? Nope. It's not true, but we believe it inside, and that is why we do not create what we want. Our beliefs are not facts. They are created by the meaning we have attached to our past experiences. That's it. And there are only and only six beliefs that are what we call our core limiting beliefs. Beyond this, we don't have any. We have supporting beliefs, and I will talk to you about that. So, write these two terms, core beliefs and supporting beliefs. Core beliefs and supporting beliefs, and we'll talk about that. So, there are six core beliefs, which are limiting beliefs, that we have. Number one, I am not good enough. Number two, I am not worthy. Number three, I do not belong. Number four, I am not perfect. Number five, I'm not capable. And number six, I am not significant. I'm not significant. There are only six of them. So write them down. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I don't belong here. I'm not perfect. I'm not capable. And I am not significant. And all of them, please write this down, all of the beliefs only and only get created from one main emotion, and that is the emotion of fear. Fear is the core of limiting beliefs. That is why you need courage. What is the opposite of fear? Courage, right? That is why you need courage to be able to release them, to be able to go beyond them. That is why courage is your best friend. Because the innate emotion underneath these beliefs is fear. Can there be other emotions? Yes, 110%. There can be other emotions. But the core emotion underneath all of them is fear and self doubt. A lot of self doubt. And self doubt is also created from that fear that is inside of you. Now, these are core beliefs, right? There's a target there. It's like right in the middle, these are core beliefs. But these beliefs are supported by what we call some supporting beliefs. And examples of supporting beliefs are, let's take the example of one core belief, which is I am not good enough. Now, when you say I'm not good enough, I don't know a lot of people who will go ahead and say, you know what, Ankita, I am not good enough. Nobody uses this language. What people say is what we call the core, the supporting beliefs of a core belief. So they will say things like, you know what, I try so many times, but it's just very difficult. It's just too hard. I've tried and I have given up. So they talk about what we call a behavior more so a belief. Are you guys with me? So they start to talk about a supporting behavior that is showing them what that core belief is. They will say, you know what, I've tried this, I give up. They become a people pleasing personality. They are always out there telling people what, listening to people and doing exactly what people expect out of them. They never expect to get ahead in their life. They're not trying something new. They don't quit a job. So they show a supporting behavior rather than saying that I'm not a good enough. People are not going to say that. Nobody ever said I am not good enough. That is why they don't know their core beliefs. But people will demonstrate it in their day-to-day life. I'll give you the smallest of example how people demonstrate I'm not good enough. If someone has ever asked you, do you want to go out for dinner? What do you want to eat? And you say, oh, I'm not, you decide. Whatever is good with you, you decide. Have you guys done that ever? Give me a yes in the chat. Like if somebody asks you, do you want to go out for dinner? You say yes. And then you go like, what cuisine do you want to have? Oh, you decide. It's up to you, right? We all do this, isn't it? Question is, are you not good enough to take a decision? Because someone else takes a decision. If you don't, then someone else does, isn't it? So, are you not good enough to decide where to go out and eat? I'm telling you the smallest of things people do, which people don't understand. Smallest of things like eating out. Very, very small thing. And it boils down to I'm not good enough. Now, it's a very simple process that I want to teach you. And if you learn this process that I'm about to show you, you will be able to identify limiting beliefs in seconds. I'm not saying minutes, I'm saying seconds. It's a 5 step framework which makes it really, really easy for you to get to the core of any behavior that is not supporting you. Any behavior that is not supporting you. So, the 5 steps that we use to identify and release limiting beliefs are number one, and I want you to make a triangle and write this down. Number one is identify a behavioral pattern that is not working out for you. Number one is to identify a behavior pattern that is not working out for you. The second thing is to identify language patterns and becoming aware of the limiting belief. Understanding language patterns and becoming aware of the limiting beliefs. The third thing is to get to the root cause of that limiting belief, is to get to the root cause of that limiting belief. The fourth thing is to release that limiting belief from the root cause and release any negative emotion that is attached to it. Number five is to create an empowering belief and live a new life. Not what you were living before, but live a brand new life. That's how important this is. So write down these 5 steps wherever you have a pen and paper. Number one, identify a behavioral pattern that is not serving you. Number two, identify language patterns. Number three is to get to the root cause of the limiting belief. Number four is to release that limiting belief. Number five is to create a new empowering belief and live a new life. These are the five steps, and I will be explaining them to you. So let's look at step one is to identify a behavioral pattern. That's the step one, to identify a behavioral pattern. Now, why is it important to identify a behavioral pattern? Why do we really have to look at finding one? Tell me one thing, before we change a belief, isn't it important to know how that belief is showing up in your life? Isn't that important or not? Like, I can go and change that belief, but if I don't know what are the actions that I am seeing every single day in my life, what's the point of changing it? There's no point changing it, right? The behavior that we keep repeating again and again and again is a clue for us. Please write that down. A behavior that we keep repeating again and again is a clue for us, and it shows us what's running underneath it. Is a clue for us. A behavior that we keep repeating that we do not like, it's a cue for us to look what is underneath. I keep procrastinating even though I know what to do. Ankita, I know what to do. That's a repeated pattern, right? I keep avoiding difficult conversations. I don't like telling people what's really going on inside my mind, right? So that's a repeated behavioral pattern, right? I keep starting things, but I do not finish them. What is that? A behavioral pattern. I keep seeking approval from other people. What should I be doing? Repeated behavioral pattern. I keep overthinking instead of actually taking an action. What is that? Repeated behavioral pattern. So, behavior itself is not the problem. It's a signal, it's a cue. I always doubt others. I don't have trust on people. That's a cue. But behind every repeated behavior, there is an emotional response and a belief that is driving it. And the goal is not to judge the behavior or label it, but it's for us to understand what exactly am I doing in my life right now that is not helping me. So, the question that you want to ask yourself is, what is that one behavior that I keep repeating that I do not like? What is that one behavior that I keep repeating that I do not like? I know it is a problem because if you don't know it's a problem, there's no point solving it, right? It's great to ignore it. But if you know it is a problem, you keep doing it again and again. Like Ankita, I know I have to go for a walk, but I don't go. I know I have time, but I still don't do it. I know I have to go to the gym, I don't do it. So, what is that one thing that you keep doing again and again, but you do not like? Write that very, very quickly. Answer this question because this is all about you answering it. Something that you know you should be doing, but you don't. Something that you know you should be doing, but you don't. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to quickly write it down. What is that one behavior I keep repeating that I do not like? You can put that in the chat. You can pop that in the chat for me as well. What is that one thing, one behavior that you keep repeating but you do not like? Procrastination. Fantastic. Procrastinating exactly what? Write that down. That's important. What do you keep procrastinating? Procrastinating starting my coaching business, procrastinating starting my weight loss, procrastinating what exactly? Not finishing things that I start. Not finishing things that I start. Always trying to find out the hidden agenda of people. That's the behavior that I have. What's the hidden agenda of people? I want to know. Put that down in the chat. Great work. And this is like I said, there's no judgment to our behavior. It's just a behavior, right? It's just a behavior. We don't know why we are doing it. It's just a behavior that we hold true. And I just want to know exactly why am I doing that? What's inside this? I keep buying books and I do not read them, right? So it's something that I repeatedly do, but I don't like. But always, if I see a book, I'll just go and buy it. So just put that in the chat, right? Because what we want to do is we want to get to the root of that one problem. It doesn't matter if it's a small problem right now. You can take a small problem. So put down that problem in the chat, right? Step number 2 is to identify language patterns. Now, it's very, very important to understand what kind of self-talk is going inside our mind, specifically related to this behavior. And language patterns are very fascinating because they decode what is going on inside our mind. Language is the doorway to your mind. Language is the doorway to your mind. So you've had so many experiences, right? Some painful memories, some amazing good memories you've had. And at one time or the other, whatever you have experienced, you repeat that in your head. You repeat that in your head. So we need to come up with two different kinds of language patterns. Number one is called the emotional language pattern. So what am I feeling inside my body, right? And the second thing is how am I creating a meaning of that emotion, right? What am I creating the meaning of that emotion? Now I'm going to give you guys an example before you write this down. So listen to me. I know you guys are writing, but just listen to me for 1 second. Now, when I gave you the example of that kid who was not good with writing one, right? Writing one. Can you please keep yourself off my off my board, please? Right? Someone is writing on my board, so just make sure you don't. So when I gave you guys the example of that kid who was not able to write one properly, right? And everybody else was looking at him while the teacher was scolding him. What is the feeling that they would have got in their body? Quickly tell me in the chat. Quickly tell me in the chat. What's that feeling they would have felt in their body when everyone was looking at them and the teacher was saying, oh my gosh, you can't even write one? Is embarrassment, feeling scared, feeling like, oh my gosh, what just happened? So feeling like judged. And what is the meaning they would have given to themselves? What is the meaning they would have given about this feeling? Tell me. What is the meaning they would have given about this judgment, this embarrassment? I'm not good at this. I don't think he's nothing. I'm nothing. I'm not good enough. Now, when you get that, that's where you start to identify exactly what that belief is. That's exactly where you find out where that belief is. So these two questions, what feelings am I attaching to this behavior? And what am I making this feeling mean about me? Gives you the actual core belief. So these three questions will unlock that belief for you and you will identify it. The first question is a behavior question. What's the behavior that you do not like? The second question is the emotion question. What feeling am I attaching to this behavior? The third question is what am I making this feeling mean about me? What am I making this feeling mean about me? Right? So these are the first two steps, the most important steps. This is where we identify the belief. What I want to do is I want to demonstrate this through one of you. So if any one of you is cool with me taking you as my demo, quickly put a D in the chat so I speak to you and we can uncover a belief that is sitting underneath you. Give me a D in the chat. Are there any people who are like, oh, Ankita, I want to find out what is sitting underneath this. Some of you have been brave enough and you've got your name in. Let's see. And give me your just in the chat, just so I pick the right person for the demonstration purposes, what is the behavior that you are working on? So I know for you, Shama, what behavior you're working on. Vivekanand, what is the behavior that you're working on? Gursharan, I know for you as well. What is that you are working on? Put that on the chat. Put that on the chat. Now, I'm going to take weight loss because weight loss is a very, very common issue, and a lot of people struggle with that. Yeah, weight loss is a very common issue, and a lot of people struggle with that. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, Gursharan. Will that be okay? And you'll be fine me doing this demonstration with you? So just unmute yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes?
sure.
Okay. So I'm just going to be asking you these three questions. And what you want to do is you just want to tell me exactly what comes in your mind. Okay. You don't have to overthink it. Just go for it. And I'm just going to ask you these three questions. It's a live demo. So what is the behavior that you keep repeating that you do not like, Gursharan? Just talk to me about it.
Uh, I always start my weight loss journey with excitement, plan
Yeah.
everything, but I'm not able to execute. I do it for 1 week, 2 week, and
Yeah.
then some circumstances happen. Then lost the track, and then it takes months to come back to that thing again. By the time I reach to the same point where I started.
So you guys can see how it's a loop for her. Can you guys see that? It's a repeated pattern, and she's explained it with her words, but it's like I start something with excitement, I get to it, I start it and I start to do it for 1 or 2 weeks. And then something happens, I stop, and it takes months. I go back many months, right? So what is this? I take 2 steps ahead with excitement and then I go back 4 steps back, right? This is exactly what a behavioral pattern is. It's a loop. And then she starts back again. Again, she does 2 weeks and then she goes back. Are you guys seeing this? It's literally a pattern. And if you want to identify it for yourself as well, whatever you have written, look, is it a pattern that you are repeating constantly in your life again and again? Is that something that you are again and again doing? And write that down. So these questions that I'm asking Gursharan, and she's been very kind to come up as a demo, right? So thank you for sharing that, Gursharan. So that's a behavioral pattern that you are running again and again and again and again, right? So that's something that
Yep,
you keep doing, all right?
yep.
So can I ask you a question? Every single time that you go through this cycle of starting and then going 1 or 2 weeks and then you stop because of the circumstances, what does it make you feel?
Mm. I feel again I reach to the point, into the
Hmm.
starting point. And
Yeah,
it's
so
again in my mind, it's again very hard for me to start again. I feel like it's a big thing for me to start again.
it's a big thing to start again. Yep.
And I start giving excuses that I have a lot other things to do, or I'm tired. I will start next day or next week.
Yeah, yeah. So you start giving a lot of excuses. You say, I'll start next week. It's like a rolling cycle, correct?
Yep.
So when you say that to yourself, that I'm going to start next week, I'm going to do this later, what does it make you feel inside about yourself? What do you feel? What
It
emotions
depends upon the
do you
situation.
feel?
Sometimes I feel excited. Like
Yep,
if Saturday, I'm excited for Monday. But
yep.
somewhere again, in the back of the mind, I doubt
You doubt.
what if I start, what will happen? Maybe it fail again. I will fail again. So that's always in back of my mind.
What will happen? Will I fail again? Is that what you
Yeah.
say?
Yes. Yeah.
And how does it make you feel when you say that to yourself?
It's frustrating.
It's frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there is a frustration there. And when you do get frustrated because of this start stop cycle that you have, and you keep saying to yourself, what will I, what if I fail again? What does it make you mean about yourself? What is the meaning that you give to this for you?
Sure.
And you're not
Nothing
sure, which
coming
is
to my
fine
mind.
because you
Just
said
only
that.
one thing came into my mind is
Yeah,
I'm not
say
good
that.
enough, but I'm not taking it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not good enough, but I'm not taking that. But that's okay. If it came, we're not judging it. We're just gonna write it down, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not good enough, which is absolutely okay. So I'm just going to decode what you have just said, correct? And I know that there was resistance. You don't want to believe that I'm not good enough, but that's the first thing that came up for us. We're going to write it and we're just going to see what has happened. So you said some things, I'm just going to repeat them to you. So you said, I start something and then I stop and I reach the same point, and it's a very big thing for me to start again. I keep giving myself excuses. I
Yeah.
start with the excitement, but then I go into a doubt. And the doubt says, what will happen if I fail again? That's a
Mhm.
supporting belief, everybody. That's called a supporting belief. So the belief that is a supporting belief is saying, what if I fail again? So it's not like you will go ahead and say, I am not good enough every single time. But that's what I was explaining to you guys, that you will say what we call supporting beliefs. Nobody ever got up one day and said, you know what, I don't think I am good enough. Nobody would get up and say that. But what is the belief that is supporting the I am not good enough is what will happen if I fail again. Now, you used a very important word here, which is called again, isn't it?
Mhm.
Our mind works on the idea of evidence. So it has a history in its mind where it has failed multiple times, and now it's a belief of I am not good enough because I start again, I stop, and that is a failure. So you have associated your stopping again and again as failure.
But I have evidence as well that it worked.
Correct. You have evidence that it works. But
Yeah.
if you don't feel good enough, specifically about the idea of health, you're going to go ahead and you're going to keep coming back. So,
Mhm.
just in context of health, we're not saying that you're not good enough in all the other contexts in the world. We're just saying, just in the context of health, the
Yep.
core belief that you are resisting right now is I'm not good enough to be healthy because I keep starting and stopping because that's the evidence that your mind has. We're not going to fight it. We're just going to go ahead because we have found two things, and I want you to write that down. Number one, a core belief of I am not good enough. And number two, a supporting belief of what if I, what will happen? Will I fail again? What will happen if I fail again? So the start and stop cycle, you've associated that with failure. That's what you've done.
Mhm. Yep.
And that is why you feel you're not good enough. Although you have evidence that it works, and that's why your mind is conflicted. And that's where a belief sits, right? It's like, I'm trying to do this, but it's not working. So,
Yep.
till now, our job is only to identify a limiting belief, and that's what we've got. So, we've got our limiting belief and we've got our core belief. So, we'll get to the exercise where we'll release it together.
Sure. Thanks.
Right? Thank you so much for the demonstration, Gursharan. Three questions, and you will get to a limiting belief. That's the kind of same for me. Everybody, I can give it to you in a writing. There are only six core limiting beliefs. But you never get up and say, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm capable. No, that's not what happens. You get up and you say, you know what? I don't think I want to do this anymore. I am procrastinating. Nobody says I'm procrastinating on this. They just don't do it. I don't feel like doing it today. Or you start giving excuses, like we heard in Gursharan's case. We start giving excuses that, you know what, there's too much on my plate. Oh, I didn't have time today, that's why I did not go. But we know that's not what the truth is. Like in hearts of hearts, we have an idea that that's not what the truth is. So now that we've got a supporting belief and we have also got our core belief, we want to identify and get to the next step, step number 3, which is getting to the root cause of this limiting belief. Getting to the root cause of this limiting belief. Now, when you get to the root cause of this limiting belief, there is only one thing that I ask you to do, and that's called trust your unconscious mind. Trust your unconscious mind, because this requires you to sit down and ask yourself some difficult questions. Now, your past limiting beliefs, the root cause could be from your parents. It could be the education system. It could be a friend. It could be a teacher that has said something. It could be a society or media, to name a few, right? So it could be anybody. It could be somebody that you truly, truly love, and that root cause could have come from them. So the idea is not to judge it, but to observe it. So we are not engaging with the memory, we're just observing the memory. And trust your unconscious mind. Don't fight the memory that comes up, right? That comes up. There are two prime principles of the unconscious mind, which I want to give you so that you know how we get to the root cause. Two prime principles. Number one, the unconscious mind will always suppress the memories that are painful and which has created these negative beliefs for us. So we don't sometimes know exactly the memory consciously. Unconscious mind knows it. So you just want to ask that question and let it settle. And the second principle that I want to talk to you about is the unconscious mind readily then makes available memories that it's ready to heal, that it's ready to heal. And we want to ask these three questions to our unconscious mind. And please know the first answer that comes up in your mind is the truth. Everyone with me? So, when you're writing the answer to these questions or when you're asking them yourself these questions, whatever answers come up, let them be. You know how Guru Sharan, like when she was resisting the idea of I am not good enough. Don't worry about it. We are not judging it. We're just writing it. That's what we are doing. We're not here to judge what answers come to us. We just want to write it down first and then we'll get ahead, right? So let's ask ourselves some questions. The first question is, when was the first time I felt I am not good enough? Or you can even insert a supporting belief. When was the first time I felt that stopping is equal to failure? Like if I stop, that means I have failed. If I do not complete this, that means I have failed. That's a supporting belief. So you can ask yourself, when was the first time I felt that I'm not good enough? So you literally say exactly what you have written. When was the first time I felt it? The second question is, what was the emotion that I felt at that time? When I decided I'm not good enough, what is the emotion that I felt at that time? And sit in silence and let your unconscious mind answer this. Let it answer it. It could be embarrassment, it could be judgment, it could be fear, it could be anger, whatever that emotion is, just sit with that emotion and let this be. Because the next two steps we are looking at releasing it. So we want to understand the root of it deeply so we can go and we can release it, right? The next question, question number 3, is a very important question. Unconscious mind, are you ready to heal this memory? Are you ready, unconscious mind, to heal this memory? If the answer is yes, you move to the next step. If the answer is a no, no, I'm not ready to heal this just as yet, that means there is a hidden block, a hidden motivation, and we can cover that sometime else. But right now, I want you to ask yourself, are you ready to heal this? Mostly the answer till here is going to be yes, and you will be able to relieve that traumatic event, right? You will be able to release that traumatic event. So these three questions will give you exactly the memory. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate that back again with somebody. So don't worry. I just want you to write these questions down. Everyone with me, just write these questions down. Now, the next step is actually releasing the negative emotions and limiting beliefs. Now we know which memory they stand in. We know how we felt at that time. Now is the time to release a negative emotion and a belief that is attached to it. Remember, we found out a negative emotion as well, like embarrassment or judgment or anger or fear. And we also now have a belief and a supporting belief that is related to that particular memory. So you want to ask yourself this question, and it's a difficult question. That's why it's called the ultimate question. What do I need to learn to be able to release this negative emotion or limiting decision right now? What do I need to learn to release this negative emotion right now from my system? What do I need to just learn so I can release this right now? And this takes some time for you to journal it out. Ask yourself this question often: what do I need to learn? And breathe and let that answer come to you. Just sit with a pen and paper and just continue to write it down. Just continue to write it down. What are the learnings that I need to have to be able to release this right now? And ask yourself this question and just let it be. Step number 5 is, once you have got your learnings, you use the technique of reframing to create an empowering belief. Now, it is very, very important that once you have released that belief, you choose a new belief instead. If we do not choose a new belief, it's like you've taken something out, but you have not added anything back. And now it's just a hole, right? So if we don't add anything back, what will happen? The old belief will take over. We want to practice and repeat our new belief. Now you've experienced something, we are going to give it a meaning and we are going to repeat it again and again. It's a new belief that we will add. And the technique that we use for that is called a reframe. We use an NLP technique called reframing. Now, how do we reframe a limiting belief? I'm going to give you some examples. So, say for example, you said, you know what, I'm not smart enough to succeed, right? I'm not smart enough to succeed. So, a new belief could be, I have intelligence and resourcefulness to achieve my goals. Not that I am smart enough, but what do I really, really have? What are my learnings? You know what? I am resourceful, I am intelligent, and I can achieve my goals. That's how you reframe it. The second one was, you know what, Ankita, this keeps happening. I don't think I can change it. I don't think I can change my habits. That's who I am, right? I can't change my habits feels like it's disempowering and you have no control. So, what do you want to say? I am in control of my actions and can develop a positive habit. I am in control of my action and I can develop a positive habit. I can control my actions and develop a positive habit. I don't deserve to be happy. I don't think I can stay happy. You know, no matter whatever happens in my life, I don't think I stay happy. By the way, a lot of people say that. I have everything, Ankita. I have everything, but I don't know why I'm still not happy. That's one of the most common things I hear. And some of you would have that thought. On paper, everything is right, Ankita. Everything is right. My kids are amazing. My family is amazing. Everyone supports me, but I'm not happy. A very common belief sits at the back that I don't think I deserve to be happy. So, what do you want to write down? I deserve happiness and joy in my life. So, you keep creating a new belief and you write down one belief and you start to install it every single day, right? If your mind is saying, you know what, I'm not worthy of success, you say, I'm deserving of success and I'm capable of achieving it. If your mind is saying, you know what, I'm too old to do this, it's never too late to pursue my passion and try new things. If your mind is saying, oh my gosh, there's so much stress, I don't think I'm good at handling this stress, I have all the tools that I need to manage my stress effectively. Anybody who tells you that the stress is going to leave your life is lying to you. Problems and stress don't leave. You manage them effectively and they no longer seem a problem. I do not know anybody who does not have stress. People think money will give them less of stress. Do you think Elon Musk has no stress? That's not true. But he's very good at managing things that are not important and working on things that are important, right? I think I keep failing, Ankita. I try something and then I keep failing back. What do you say? Every attempt is a learning opportunity that brings me closer to my success. I've worked very hard, but I still don't get promoted, Ankita. I've tried so many times. I've done everything. The minute you say I've done everything, I already know that you haven't tried. You've tried probably four things and you've given up. I am ready to learn the skills and qualities that are needed for my promotion. If you've tried everything, you will not be able to do anything new, right? So 110%, you want to start focusing on creating new beliefs. Some of the empowering beliefs to choose from is my past does not equal my future. And I want you to write this list because it really, really works for me, especially when I am working with my own beliefs. No matter what happens, I can handle it. There is no failure, there's only feedback. There's no problems, there's only challenges. If what I am doing isn't working, I'm going to try something new. And I say this a lot, and I want you guys to write it because that's something that I keep saying a lot. My path can change, my goal will not. My path can change, my goal will not. So it doesn't matter if I'm working on something, it doesn't work, I'll pivot. I'll see and I'll find something else. But my goal is not going to change. If what I'm doing is not working, I'll try something else. I take responsibility. I listen to feedback. I'm confident, I'm loving, and I'm really kind. Sometimes it's important to remind ourselves of our own kindness, right? The other empowering beliefs is I'm okay to ask for help. I can put my hand up if I need help. I'm ready to try new things. I believe in myself. Very important. I believe in myself. I count my blessings every single day. I give freely and generously. I choose what's right for me over what is expected of me. This is a very, very good one. I choose what is right for me over what is expected for me. I see so many people doing what is expected of them and are not choosing what they want to do. And the core belief of that is I am not good enough to make choices for myself. Yeah. I believe that my life has a great meaning, a deep purpose, and I am grateful. My life has a meaning and I am grateful. Really, really important to remind yourself. Now, I often say this one thing rather than just repeating these empowering beliefs, see what comes up for you while you are doing this 5 steps. Write down what is coming up for you based on the supporting beliefs that you get, based on the core belief that you get. What is the reframe that you want to do for that? Don't just choose these randomly. Those are called affirmations then. We work with affirmations, but we work on affirmations that our body has created. What comes up after you write those question sets down? So I'm going to go back to Gursharan and complete the process with Gursharan. And I'm going to show you the last 2 steps as well, just asking the questions, right? So, Gursharan, whatever comes to your mind, you just tell me. And I'm just going to write it down. We're not judging here, we're just following the process. That's it. So, we came up till step number 3, right? On starting and stopping is equal to failing again and again. And that means I'm not good enough because if I start and stop, that means I'm failing and that means I am not good enough. That's what we came up with specifically with your health, right? So I'm just going to ask you a question and you just answer that question and tell me what comes up for you. That's it, right? Whatever comes up for you, you just tell me. So now I'll be asking her the 3 questions that I have given you guys. And all we want to do is just see what comes up for her. That's it. So, Gursharan, when was the first time, and I want you to close your eyes and just go back wherever, in context of health, you felt that starting and stopping is equal to failing and that you are not good enough? When was the first time that you felt it? That if you stop, you failed.
I'm getting the image of a baby. That's what not good enough.
That's okay. So just continue to stay there. So just talk to me. You're getting an image of a baby that feels that's not good enough.
Yes.
Do you know what age that baby is?
Born.
The baby is just born. Just stay with that image, keeping your eyes closed. That's fine. So the baby is just born. Is that baby you or somebody else?
It's me.
It's you. Okay. Fantastic. Just stay with that. And what is the emotion that you feel in this time in your body?
No sad.
You feel sad. Anything else that comes up for you?
Uh, I think rejected.
Rejected. Thank you so much. Anything else that comes up? Just stay with that.
Mm, that's the image I
That's it.
just.
So the sadness and the rejection is coming up for you. And is your unconscious mind ready to heal this memory for you?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So just stay with this memory, and I'm going to ask you one question. What is the learning that you need to know to be able to release this negative emotion right now from your body? The feeling of rejection, this sadness.
I'm feeling sad in my body, but uh,
Yeah, just stay
it's
with that.
not. It doesn't matter to me anymore.
So you are sad in your body, but you are telling yourself it doesn't matter consciously. My question is, what do you need to learn to be able to release the sadness, this rejection from your body?
Uh, other doesn't matter.
Other people's view, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah,
Beautiful. So what matters instead?
my identity, who I am.
Who I am matters to me. Okay, fantastic. What else?
Uh, I don't need anyone's validation.
You don't need anyone's validation, so what do you need instead?
Trust on myself.
I trust myself. Beautiful. I love that. What else is coming up for you?
I can handle the things.
I can handle things myself. Is that what is coming
Yeah,
up? Beautiful. I can handle things myself. What else?
I am enough.
I am enough. Beautiful. What else?
I have a lot of skills.
I have a lot of skills and resources. Yeah, beautiful. I have a lot of skills. I have a lot of skills.
I'm more knowledgeable.
I am knowledgeable. What else?
I can figure out the solutions to the problems
I can figure out solutions to the problems
independently.
independently.
That's
Beautiful.
that's it.
Beautiful. So come back into time, into your body. Beautiful. You did so well. Fantastic.
Thank
Fantastic.
you.
Great work. So what do we need to do now is I'm going to give you that list and I want you to write that down. This entire list that you gave me. I want you to write that down because these are automatic reframes of the belief that we started with. So write those down, Gursharan, for me. I trust myself. I trust myself. I can handle things myself. I can handle things myself. I am enough. I am enough. I have a lot of skills and knowledge. I can figure out solutions to my problems independently. I can figure out solutions to my problems independently. This last sentence, when you said it, it was like you knew that that's really
Yeah,
the reframe, the big reframe, right? I can figure out my solution to my own problems independently, right? And this becomes a list that you repeat, not just any affirmations, but this is your repetition list that you want to keep close to you as far as your health is concerned.
yeah,
So write it down on a piece of paper and stick it on the fridge, right?
yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thanks,
being
Ankita.
so
Thank you very
amazing.
much.
Thanks a ton. And take your time. I think it gets really heavy. So just release it, breathe it out, Gurshan a little bit, just exhale a little bit because it becomes really, really heavy. So just take that time to take a couple of releasing breaths out. Fantastic work, everyone. Fantastic work. Now, these are the questions that you ask yourself or anybody that you are helping release limiting beliefs, right? So, everyone, did you guys do your own when I was doing it for Gurshan? Did you guys come up with something of your own as well, right? Did you guys follow the process? Yes, fantastic. If you are following the process, you will get to your own empowering statements. And that's the idea. You want to create something that is there for you that you can say. And it's not just general affirmations, it's something that your body has created, your body has learned through this experience, right? your body has learned through this experience. So when we look at these 5 steps together, it becomes what we call a journey, right? When we look at these 5 steps together, it is a full entire journey that we take together. And that is what is important. When you are looking at your limiting beliefs, you want a simple guided process. That's what you want. You want a simple guided process, right? Now I'm going to close the recording. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me those questions. I'll be more than happy